Good day, everyone. Pastor Loranda here. First, I'll tell you the gospel can be found in 1 Corinthians chapter 15, verses 1 to 4. Well, guys, I have a few things that is going on at the moment. As many of us probably already have heard about the balloon that has been spotted over the U.S. They first tried to say that it was a weather balloon, but it was later thought to be something else. And now they are thinking that it is possible that it could be an EMP. The U.S. is afraid to shoot it down in fear that it can cause great issues, because if an EMP if they shoot down as EMP and it causes issues, it can knock out the power grid and cause havoc for the country. Things like the hospital systems, emergency equipment, life support equipment, generators, and other devices can be knocked out and destroyed. And of course, this can cause issues in operating rooms and things like that, and many people can lose their lives. So, there's something's going to have to be done about it sooner or later. But that's not all. Anyway, there has been two other balloons located now, one in Latin America and the other in Canada. These balloons have apparently been sent by the Chinese government, and they are in no rush to remove them. Government officials are on standby, and the U.S. have now gone from alert DEFCON 3 to DEFCON 2, which is pretty huge, actually. Well, something is happening out there, guys, and it is scary for many, as we do not know what this really is and what type of issues it can cause, and what these balloons are really carrying. And they could go off at any moment, or it could be just a scare tactic from the Chinese government, showing us what they can really do if in a pinch. So maybe it's a threat to Biden to, stand down, be careful what you're doing or whatever, because it's pretty easy for us to get at you. Anyway, Russia, well, they're not letting up, and we know that Russia and China are on friendly bases, and Putin is now preparing a 500,000 man army. We know in the Bible it tells us in the end days there will be a 200 million man army, and they say that it was never possible ever in history, but right now it is possible with the Chinese military. So anyway, something is coming down, and much of the world is on standby. Although you only see bits and pieces of it being broadcast in the mainstream media, it is a threat that is being taken very seriously by the military worldwide. So they're all watching to see what's going down, not only with the war in Russia and that, but whatever this is that is going on here now with those balloons. So apparently, there's been three, and one over Latin America area and one in Canada. And they say that the one in US did come down over Canada into Canadian airspace and go on from there into the US. But apparently there is three balloons located right now. In other news, we have already told you about the 30,000 liters of milk that a farmer in Ontario, Canada, was forced to dump, saying that he was over his quota. Now, they have put a quota, guys, on the milk for the Canadian dairy farmers. And yet, local schools, and I know because my daughter as young kids in school, in elementary schools, and parents were notified of a milk shortage in the schools at the same day that this report came out. So yet local schools are notifying parents that there is a milk shortage, and the farmers are outraged by what is happening and is beginning to speak up and voice their concerns. Apparently this farmer that had to dump 30,000 liters was pretty upset. So anyway, he took, I guess, to the media and voices concerns. He's having to throw out milk when local schools are now having a milk shortage. So, I mean, manufactured famine coming, right? Also, I had reported a few weeks ago that it was said that there is a huge possibility that the waters in the UK in the future could become poisonous and that many would die if this was to happen. Yet it wasn't sure what, could cause this, although we know different things that could cause it. But um, at that time, we reported it. We heard it said by an intelligence officer in the U.S., but we did not know exactly what would be done to cause this poisonous waters. But we do now. Um, it is very clear on how it could happen, actually, because Putin has threatened the UK with a radioactive tsunami, saying that he could send a missile that could cause a tsunami that could kill many in the UK. This tsunami could cause the waters to become radioactive, which is poisonous. So I guess when this U.S. intelligence officer put this warning out there that we could hear of something happening in the near future like this, I guess he did know what he was talking about, I guess, what was coming and what is expected if Putin was to actually act on this threat. And we know if Putin is backed in a corner, he will act on it. Well, there's so much going on right now, folks, and I'm keeping an eye on it. And if anything breaks, I'll come back. I'm just doing a short video here now. It's actually 7 p.m., just about where I am, and another about 3 or 4 minutes. So it's getting a little later in the evening, but I know our nights is days over in the Russia area, over in Russia and that. So we're just in the Middle East. So I will keep an eye on this. If anything comes up, if anything breaks on it, I'll come on right away. But things are getting really, really serious out there, guys. Tension is increasing globally. It's not just Russia, Ukraine, or Iran, Israel, or it's nothing like that. We know Israel is the center country of the world. It is in the center of the earth. You can go around it whichever way it is. We know that it's the apple of God's eye, and we know that the main goal with everything is Israel. Everything leads back to Israel. Whatever goes on in the world leads back to Israel, because all nations of the world wants that area. It's so full of oil and natural resources, and it's a goal for Russia. They will take Ukraine, they'll take Poland, they'll go country to country, but their main goal is Israel. And we know the end day wars is Israel. So and it's called, one of them is called Gog and Magog, where it's going to come down from the north into Israel, which we know Russia is the north of Israel, and the Ezekiel 38 war and all that we've mentioned before will take place. This prophecy is going to happen. Everything prophecy biblically happens, and we know right now that it has led us to the last days. We are in the end days, and we're just watching things kind of play out. And as tension increases, because new threats are being made pretty much daily, and some of them have had action taken. So far things have happened. So it's not to be taken lightly. We need to prepare for an emergency, guys, like extra, things for the heaters, something that you can run by propane, or something that will keep you warm and have another cooking source other than electricity, and some non-perishable food items, candles, blankets, batteries, radio, a few things like that, guys. I mean, we've been told to keep those items on hand for as long as I can remember, for years and years and years, because we do have a yearly storms and stuff anyway. So But yeah, even especially now, guys, everyone should always have this stuff on hand. But folks, we are headed into World War III. Many don't realize that World War III has actually already started. It is just in the early stages, and it has been for the last year. The 24th of this month will be a year that Putin went into Ukraine, and some people expects that, well, according to his past strategies, and then I guess they're expecting when the year is up on the 24th of this month that things will change and will increase and go from there. So all the mainstream media is suppressing a lot of this right now. But it's soon going to be to a point where they cannot suppress it anymore. Um, I mean, they're not going to be able to keep it from everybody. Everybody's going to see it in the skies. Everybody's going to see it. We see it now on other media sources like myself and that. And I mean, everything is going to break wide open, and it's going to get pretty intense. So I have some things on hand, folks. Prepare. We are living in the last days. And my advice to everyone is get right with Christ, because he tells us that when we see these things happening, look up, for our redemption draws nigh. And he also says that he's coming like a thief in the night. So if you knew a thief was coming in the night, wouldn't you be ready for him? Well, that's the thing. We don't know when they're coming, and many will not be ready, and will be left behind. So, um, guys, according to how fast everything is happening, this beast system is rising fast. The Lord could come at any moment. Klaus Schwab, and they're saying that the 2030 agenda needs to be sped up, and they want it to take place right away, like ASAP. And we know he just recently came out, and he came out just before COVID, and told us about COVID that was coming. And he just recently came out telling about the cyber attacks and power grids going down and stuff like that. And apparently, if these things happens and EMPs explodes, your vehicles, your motherboards, your things that's in your vehicles can be damaged, and you have no transportation. And another thing that Klaus Schwab had said is that by the 2030 agenda, nobody is to own their own vehicles. So, what better way to do it, right, than send off something like an EMP, which is going to destroy the motherboards and that, and all vehicles are down. So what use is anything really going to be to us? So they have a plan, guys, and they're putting this plan in motion real fast. So expect anything. But for us who's with Christ, this is encouragement for us, because we know when we see these things happening, our redemption is near. For the rest of the folks, get right with Christ. That's the only way you're going to endure any of this. Is the only way you're going to, as we say, escape this. And you have to get right with Christ. And you'll hear people fight over the trib and the mid-trib, pre-trib, post-trib. There's no need to fight about it. The Lord is coming whichever part of it he arrives in. I believe pre-trib myself. Many do believe mid, and some do believe post. I don't see it post-trib, actually. But unless you're going to be one of those that's going to be left behind and carry on through. But many will have to give up their lives, and if they're caught in God's wrath and tribulation and stuff like that. So my advice to you is get right with Christ, so that you can, our blessed hope, right? So we can escape these things. It tells us biblically. So if we do end up going through the 3.5 years of tribulation that some people do believe, the mid-trib, then so be it. Get ready. Either way, get ready. We are, I believe, in the birthing pains. And either way, Christ is coming soon, guys, because he cannot tarry when things are getting so bad. So anyway, that's it for this video. Please subscribe, guys. Click the subscribe button. Share this video. Share this channel. And if any of you need a free Bible, email me. We will send you a free Bible anywhere in the world. The address is in the description box below. Take care, everyone, and God bless.